You're listening to the Topcast, the original podcast for growth-minded instrumental music and voice teachers since 2015, with your host, Tim Topham. Our mission at TopMusic is to empower instrumental music and voice teachers to find and nurture their innate creativity so that they can teach lessons that are innovative, integrated, and inspiring, and that will have a positive, lifelong impact on their students. Join us each week as we interview teachers and creators from around the world and unpack fun and exciting ideas to maximize your teaching and studio business success. Hey everyone, it's Tim Topham here. Welcome back to the Topcast. It's great to have you with us again today. Whether this is your first show or you've listened to all 437 of my shows, it is super to have you here. Welcome. This podcast is all about giving you the support and ideas and creative know-how to run a fantastic music teaching studio, both from the pedagogical side and also the business side. And today we're talking more on the pedagogy side. October here this year, as you know, is all about teaching with technology. That's our focus. Over on the blog, we're talking about it. In our magazine, it's all about teaching with technology, and we've got some great articles in there. Make sure you go and grab it. If you're not already subscribed, it's free. And it comes out every month. This is professionally designed. It's a fantastic resource for you. Just head over to topmusic.co/magazine and you'll get that into your inbox every single month. I thought today it would be fun to ask other teachers what their must-have all-time favorite music teaching tool right now is. So today you're actually going to hear from a bunch of fantastic teachers from around the world. Some names you'll probably recognize and some maybe less so. But all of them give you their sneak peek into what their favorite piece of technology is. And I knew this would be hard. So what I said to everyone who's contributed, I said, look, if you had to say goodbye to every other tool except this one thing, this one bit of technology, what would that bit of technology be? And so you'll be hearing about a number of apps, some software, devices, you name it, we've got it, we're covering it. And it's great to hear how these teachers are using it and why they believe it's the most important thing, the most helpful thing. And what I guess I hope you go and do after this and hearing this is go and try out some of these bits of software or these smart tools, whatever it is. Go and try them out. Many of them have free trials that you can try and see how they work in your studio. See if you would, if you're asked the same thing in a few months, see if you would actually agree with them. So today I'm going to let each person introduce themselves, tell us where they're from, and then let us know their tool. So let's dive in.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Amy Chaplin from the Piano Pantry blog and podcast. My studio, Studio 88, is based out of Northeast Indiana. Believe it or not, I actually don't use a ton of tech in my teaching, but when I do, it's often seasonal, depending on what I'm focusing on with students. Lately, I've been using Spotify, and it's become one of my go-to tools. Over the past few years, my studio has been made up mostly of intermediate students, and I wanted to spend some focused time working on chord charts. So for the first quarter of our lesson year, we've been working on playing chord charts to popular songs, and they often get to request songs that they would like to do. I'm following that up with a month-long jam band session for students in grades 7 and up. More to come later on my Piano Pantry blog on that if you're interested. I honestly couldn't do this without Spotify. I've been building a playlist of songs that work well for students learning how to play charts. During lessons, we hit play, turn up the Bluetooth speaker, and then just jam along to the original track. It's so invigorating for them. I've always loved Spotify, not just for teaching, but for personal use as well. One of the perks of the paid version is that you can customize the playlist order. So here's a quick tip on that. The first 4 songs in a playlist are what generate the playlist icon. So you can actually control that, but only from a desktop. I love Spotify so much, I even recorded a whole podcast episode with tips like that one. It's episode number 123 of the Piano Pantry podcast. The fastest way to find it would just be to Google Piano Pantry Spotify. Another way I've used Spotify in my studio is by creating listening playlists to go along with music-themed children's books that students can check out in my studio. I place a bookmark in each book with a QR code that links directly to the Spotify playlist. That way, students can easily listen at home while reading. The playlists are public, so if you're curious, you're welcome to check them out too. I've written a couple of blog posts about them, and you can find them by Googling Piano Pantry Children's Books. I'm Amy Chaplin, and that's my tech tip for top music listeners today. Enjoy!
Hi, it's Bec Stewart from TopMusic. My all-time favourite teaching app is Tonality. Tonality is an app that helps students hear and see how chords relate to each other. I use it with all my teen students when we work on 4-chord composing, playing pop, learning worship songs, or even analysing harmony in a sonata. The reason I just love this is you can see a rainbow-coloured circle of fifths on the screen, tap each chord, and hear what it sounds like. If you select one chord as your tonic, it zooms into that pizza slice segment of the circle of fifths and labels the chords with Roman numeral. Because it integrates sound and sight, it makes sense straight away. Even in their first lesson, students can use the app to play a sequence of chords, and it is the quickest way to learn how to transpose for that fussy singer who wants you to play it in a lower key. Save the long explanations. Just use the oral and visual tool to have students transposing by themselves in seconds. Score cool points by working out the chord progression for any song they bring in, and by showing them how you would do it, they will learn how to do it for themselves too. As Tim would say, it helps the circle of fifths to be more than a scales torture device. If you'd like to find out more about Tonality, look for it in the App Store. Sadly, no Android or PC version yet. Shout out to all our TopMusic Pro members listening. Come chat with me in the member forum. See you soon.
Hi, it's Jennifer Fox with Music Educator Resources. My all-time favorite music app is Practice Space. This incredible tool makes it easy for teachers to communicate directly with their students while giving students fun and encouraging incentives to practice and connect with their peers. On the teacher's side, I love how organized it keeps me. I can easily create assignments and include helpful resources like video lessons, audio tracks, and PDFs. Everything my students need for practice success at home. Over time, I built a large library of video lessons, which has been a huge time saver. I use them whenever a student needs to miss a lesson or for extra practice guidance in a piece. If you'd like to see how I record and organize my video lessons, you can check out my blog at musiceducatorresources.com. Practice Space truly brings everything together: communication, organization, and motivation all in one place. It's an invaluable part of my teaching studio, and I can't recommend it enough.
I'm Laura Kaha, founder of Music and Me in Sydney, and the voice behind Diary of a Piano Mama on Instagram, where I share my waves of creative, progressive music teaching. My favorite teaching tech is definitely voice memos. Yup, that red button. You can use it for everything. Record student performances, capture practice at home, save creative sparks missed lessons, record yourself to send home for support, even use it to park those random 2 a.m. ideas before they vanish. Here's what it actually does. It records sounds. That's it. But that just it is everything. One tap and you've got a playback button for awareness, reflection, and those, wait, that's me moments. In class, my students and I listen back together. At home, I encourage them to record and replay. Really teaches them how to listen. It's not about chasing perfect takes. It's about noticing. Because I truly believe when students learn to listen, they start to understand their sound. They own it and they feel proud of it. And it's how I show my students that reflection is part of musicianship, not an add-on. Voice memos, yup. It really turns your phone into the simplest recording studio, feedback tool, and awareness builder you'll ever use. No logins, no subscriptions, just press record. Honestly, it's the easiest, most powerful app you already own.
Hi, this is Noreen Wengen from Wengen Piano Studios in California. I've been teaching online lessons since about 2010, and one piece of tech equipment that I use every day for the past at least 5 years is the Apogee Height Mic, a USB condenser microphone that comes in a case with adapters. It's great. It's easy to switch from your cell phone, iPad, or computer. It's inevitable that when you're teaching online lessons, you'll need to switch devices, and when something like sound or battery or video isn't working, so it really makes USB easy to switch in a flash. The variety of settings gives your voice a rich tone, and the students say they hear me and my pianos well during online lessons. If you want to find more about it, check out my Wengen Piano YouTube video that has sound comparisons. I do use different mics for my piano and different mics that go into my mixer, but this is just one of my favorites. So hope you enjoy it. Check out that Apogee Hype Mic USB condenser microphone.
Hey Tim, it's Rebecca Singerman-Knight here from Southwest London in the UK, and you asked about my one tech tip. I would say it's the app iReal Pro. I discovered it through one of your videos probably 8 years ago. I don't know, quite a long time ago. And it's basically a backing track app. And as well as coming with a lot of kind of pre-recorded stuff, I actually use it to create my own backing tracks. And I use it for all sorts of things. I use it to do backing tracks that can accompany pentascales and scales. I use it for a lot of different chord progressions that students can improvise along to, either using really simple patterns for beginners or something a little bit more elaborate. If students want to make up their own chord progressions, then we can use backing tracks for that. So it's really versatile. You can use it for so many different things. Very, very good in particular for helping students to play along with a beat. And I'd always say, do you want to play along with the band? Because obviously you can adjust the instruments. There are all sorts of different backing tracks. I quite like the slow rock style. That's usually my go-to. But bluegrass is hilarious at 260 beats per minute if you just want to have a laugh. So iReal Pro, it's an app that it will cost maybe £15-20. It was £15 when I bought it, but that was a lot of years ago. But you'll probably use it daily, if not weekly, probably in most of your lessons. So big shout out for iReal Pro. Thanks, Tim.
Hi, it's Samantha from Blitzbooks. And my all-time favorite teaching technology is Vivid, the Vivid Practice app by Nicola Cantan. And the reason I love it is because it organizes all my teaching things. I actually couldn't do without it. The computer became part of my teaching during COVID, and I found that it was actually so much better having all of my students' notebooks online, because if they came to their lesson without their notebook, I had a record of it on my computer. I hadn't actually used my computer prior to COVID with my teaching. During COVID, I was using an app called Tonara as a practice system, as a learning management system with my students. And then Tonara went away, and then I adopted Vivid. That's helpful. Thanks.
Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing from all of our teacher contributors in this episode. Can I thank them all very much for contributing their thoughts to today's show? It's been great to hear all of their ideas, and I hope you go and try some of those out. Go and check them out, see what you think. Until next time, that's it for today's show. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll speak to you again this time next week. How do you keep up to date with all the latest trends and research into music education? How do you connect with other teachers around the world and make sure your teaching stays fresh and relevant for students of all ages and stages, both now and into the future? I created our TopMusic Pro membership to be the one-stop shop for music teaching resources, training, support and community, and I'd love for you to come and join us inside. With over 40 comprehensive training courses, hundreds of teaching demonstrations and lesson plans, free monthly sheet music, discounts, and all the business and pedagogy support you could ever need, TopMusic Pro is the community you've been looking for. If you're ready to level up your learning from the podcast and join thousands of other teachers in our global network, head over to topmusicpro.com today. If you enjoy this show and want to hear more of our work, be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening today. For links and resources mentioned in this episode, visit us at topmusic.co/podcast or check out the show notes. I'm Tim Topham. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy your week ahead, and I'll catch you next time.